Stretching across the northern half of North America, Canada emerges as a colossal tapestry of raw, unyielding wilderness, its boundaries etched by ancient geological forces, and its heart beating with the pulse of untamed nature. Here, the land is defined not by the presence of civilization, but by the overwhelming dominance of forests, mountains, and water, an immense living expanse where the wild reigns supreme. As the second-largest country on Earth, Canada's territory sprawls across nearly 10 million square kilometers, a domain so vast it stretches from the temperate rainforests of the Pacific to the frozen reaches of the Arctic, crossing 6 time zones and encompassing a staggering diversity of environments. On the eastern edge, the Atlantic Ocean hurls its tempestuous waves against ancient weathered cliffs, sculpting the coastline with relentless energy and filling the air with the brine of distant storms. To the west, the Pacific's tranquil mist-laden shores are veiled in perpetual fog, where ancient forests meet the sea, and the rhythm of the tides shapes a world of quiet majesty. Northward, the land ascends into the silent, frozen dominion of the Arctic, where the tundra glitters beneath the ethereal dance of the northern lights, and the air is sharp with the purity of untouched cold. The Canadian Shield, a vast expanse of ancient rock, sprawls across the heart of the nation, its surface scarred and sculpted by glaciers, its valleys filled with thousands of lakes, and its forests shaped by the ceaseless interplay of wind, water, and time. This immense scale shelters some of the planet's last true wildernesses, vast, unbroken tracts, where the only sounds are the wind in the trees and the distant call of a loon. Canada is a land of water, home to more lakes than the rest of the world combined, each one a mirror to the sky, a reservoir of life, and a silent witness to the passage of the ages. Its boreal forest, stretching in a vast green arc across the continent, forms one of the largest intact ecosystems on Earth, a living fortress of trees, moss, and shadow, teeming with hidden life. The northern latitude dictates a rhythm of extremes, winters that lock the land in silence and ice, and summers that burst forth in a riot of color and life, each season sculpting the wilderness anew. Across this realm, nature holds absolute dominion. Forests stretch unbroken for hundreds of kilometers, mountains rise in silent majesty, and tundra sprawls in endless, wind-swept solitude. The emptiness here is profound, a vastness that humbles, a silence that speaks of the Earth's primordial past, where the land remains as it was before memory. To traverse Canada is to journey through a succession of worlds, each region a distinct, dramatic realm, shaped by its own climate, geology, and elemental forces. The easternmost edge is a world of battered cliffs and salt-sprayed rocks, where the land meets the sea in a perpetual contest of strength and endurance. Inland, the ancient Appalachian Mountains rise in gentle, forested swells, hills cloaked in mist, valleys echoing with the memory of vanished glaciers. The heart of the continent is a labyrinth of lakes and rivers, wetlands that shimmer beneath the sky, and freshwater seas that pulse with the energy of the land. To the west, the prairies unfold in golden waves, vast grasslands where the wind sculpts the land and the sky seems to stretch forever, a horizon unbroken by forest or mountain. Beyond the plains, the land surges upward into the Rocky Mountains, a formidable wall of stone and ice, where glaciers carve deep valleys and peaks pierce the clouds in silent grandeur. Further still, the Arctic reveals itself, a stark, otherworldly expanse of ice and tundra, where the sun circles the horizon in summer and the land glows with the surreal light of the far north. Every inch of this land is shaped by elemental forces, ice grinding rock to dust, wind sculpting snow and sand, water carving valleys and nourishing life in the most unlikely places. Here, cycles of destruction and renewal play out on a grand scale, Wildfires sweep through forests, lightning splits the sky, and new life emerges from the ashes, a testament to the land's resilience. The rivers, born in distant mountains, carve their way northward, fanning into intricate deltas and feeding the Arctic seas, each waterway a lifeline threading through the wilderness. In the brief explosive summer, the tundra erupts in a mosaic of wildflowers and mosses, each bloom a fleeting miracle, thriving in the harshest of conditions. In the oceans and rivers, life surges with equal vigor. Whales breach in icy waters, fish migrate through labyrinthine streams, and the pulse of the wild is felt in every current. This is Canada's wild heart, an immense, ever-changing realm of elemental power and breathtaking beauty, where the land itself is the protagonist and every vista offers a glimpse into the sublime, untamed soul of the continent. Canada's geography is a living mosaic, a vast expanse where ecosystems shift and blend in a seamless, breathtaking progression. Each region is defined not only by its landforms, but by the intricate web of life that thrives within, shaped by climate, soil, and the relentless forces of nature. The country's foundational landscapes can be traced in a grand sweep from the lush, rain-soaked forests of the east to the stark, windswept tundra of the north. Each transition reveals a new world of ecological wonders. In the east, the Atlantic coast is sculpted by the ancient Appalachian Mountains, their granite bones exposed to the salt-laden winds. Here the forests are dense and mixed, towering spruces, balsam firs, and moss-draped maples, interwoven with deep, shadowy ravines. The air is thick with fog, rolling in from the North Atlantic, nourishing carpets of ferns and lichens. Animal tracks, those of red foxes, snowshoe hares, and the elusive Canada lynx, crisscross the forest floor, evidence of a hidden world in constant motion. Along the rocky coastline, the relentless tides carve tide pools teeming with life, while seabirds wheel overhead, their calls echoing across the mist-shrouded cliffs. The interplay of land and sea creates a dynamic edge, where salt spray and wind shape every living thing. Moving westward, the forests give way to the St. Lawrence lowlands and the Great Lakes basin. Here, the climate softens, and the land is sculpted by ancient glaciers, leaving behind rich soils and a labyrinth of rivers and wetlands. The Great Lakes themselves are vast inland seas, their shores lined with wind-bent pines and thickets of dogwood. In the shallows, muskrats and beavers leave intricate trails through the reeds, while loons and mergansers glide across the water's surface. Even as the land transitions, wildness persists. The forests here are alive with the calls of warblers and the drumming of woodpeckers, while deer trails wind through stands of trembling aspen and sugar maple. Beyond the lowlands, the land rises abruptly into the Canadian Shield, a realm of ancient exposed bedrock, scoured by ice and time. The soil is thin and the forests sparse, dominated by black spruce and jackpine, their roots gripping the stone. This is the domain of the Boreal forest, or taiga, a vast unbroken belt of conifers stretching thousands of kilometers. The air is cool and resinous, the ground soft with moss and fallen needles. Moose tracks press deep into the spongy earth, while wolves and lynx move silently through the undergrowth. To the west, the forest thins and the land flattens into the endless sweep of the prairies. Here, the sky dominates and the wind sculpts the grasses into rippling waves. The tall-grass prairie is a world of subtle beauty, big blue stems, switchgrass and wildflowers like blazing star and prairie crocus. Bison once thundered across these plains, their hoofprints creating micro-habitats for insects and birds. Today, remnants of native prairie persist in isolated patches where the tracks of pronghorn and coyote can still be found among the grasses, and burrowing owls nest in abandoned ground squirrel burrows. The prairies end abruptly at the foothills of the Rockies, where the land buckles and rises, and the air grows cooler and thinner. The Rocky Mountains are a world apart, jagged peaks crowned with snow, glacial lakes of impossible blue, and forests of Engelmann spruce and subalpine fir. Mountain goats and bighorn sheep leave their prints on rocky ledges, while marmots whistle from alpine meadows. North of the mountains and the boreal forest, the trees thin and finally disappear, giving way to the open, treeless expanse of the tundra. This is a land shaped by permafrost, where the ground remains frozen for most of the year. The tundra stretches across the northern territories, a mosaic of lichen, moss, and dwarf willow. Caribou herds carve ancient migration routes into the earth, while Arctic foxes and snowy owls leave delicate tracks in the snow. For most of the year, the tundra is locked in ice and silence, swept by frigid winds and illuminated by the ethereal glow of the aurora borealis. The weather is extreme. Temperatures plunge, and blizzards can sweep across the land in moments. Yet, in the brief Arctic summer, the tundra bursts into color. Wild flowers, Arctic poppy, saxifrage, and mountain avens bloom in a riot of hues. Migrating birds arrive in great flocks, and the land teems with life, all racing to complete their cycles before the cold returns. This is the final frontier, a realm of resilience and adaptation, where every plant and animal is a testament to survival in one of the planet's most demanding environments. From the shadowed forests to the luminous tundra, Canada's wild heart beats strong and untamed. In the vast, wind-swept expanses of the Canadian Arctic, where the land is sculpted by relentless cold and silence, a singular predator dominates the frozen wilderness. The polar bear, Ursus maritimus, is the undisputed apex predator of this realm, an animal whose entire existence is a testament to the art of survival in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Every aspect of the polar bear's anatomy and behavior is honed for life amid the ice and snow. Its massive body, sometimes weighing over 1,500 pounds, is shielded by a dense layer of blubber and a thick, water-repellent coat, allowing it to endure temperatures that would be lethal to most creatures. The blubber, sometimes exceeding 4.5 inches in thickness, insulates against the biting cold and provides vital energy reserves during long periods without food. Its fur, composed of 2 layers, traps air for additional warmth and buoyancy, while the outer guard hairs repel water after icy swims. Beneath this fur, the bear's black skin absorbs and retains the faint warmth of the Arctic sun, maximizing every possible advantage in a world of extremes. The polar bear's striking appearance is a marvel of evolutionary design. Its long neck and narrow skull allow it to peer into seal breathing holes, while its powerful limbs and shoulders are built for both swimming and traversing vast distances across shifting ice. Its fur, though appearing white, is actually made of transparent hollow hairs that scatter light, rendering the bear nearly invisible against the snow and ice, a perfect camouflage for stalking prey. The polar bear's hunting strategy is a masterclass in patience and precision. It relies on the still hunt, waiting motionless for hours beside a seal's breathing hole, poised to strike with explosive speed when the seal surfaces for air. Its enormous paws, spanning up to 12 inches across, act as natural snowshoes, distributing its weight to prevent it from breaking through thin ice or sinking into deep drifts. The rough, textured pads and non-retractable claws provide exceptional grip, allowing the bear to traverse slick, treacherous surfaces with confidence and agility. The polar bear's sense of smell is legendary. It can detect the scent of a seal nearly a meter beneath compacted snow or from almost 20 miles away, enabling it to locate prey in a landscape where food is scarce and widely dispersed. The sea ice is the stage upon which the polar bear's life unfolds. It is here that the bear hunts, travels and rests, covering hundreds of kilometers in search of food and mates. During the spring and early summer, the bears roam the ice following the migration of seals and exploiting every opportunity to hunt. Mating also occurs on the ice, with pairs coming together briefly before the solitary life resumes. Patience is the polar bear's greatest weapon. It will lie motionless for hours, conserving energy, its senses attuned to the faintest sound or movement beneath the ice. When the ice breaks up, the polar bear becomes a powerful swimmer, capable of crossing vast stretches of open water. Its front paws, broad and slightly webbed, propel it through the frigid sea with remarkable endurance, sometimes swimming for days between ice flows. In autumn, as the sea ice retreats, polar bears gather along the coast, waiting for the return of the ice. Here they interact with one another, sometimes play-fighting, sometimes establishing dominance, but always conserving energy for the long months ahead. The polar bear's survival is a delicate balance dictated by the rhythms of the ice and the abundance of prey. When food is scarce, the bear can slow its metabolism, entering a state of walking hibernation to conserve energy. The bear's dependence on sea ice is absolute. Without it, hunting becomes nearly impossible, and the bear must endure long periods of fasting, relying on its fat reserves to survive. On land, the polar bear's options are limited. It may scavenge for bird eggs, vegetation, or the occasional carcass, but these meager resources cannot sustain such a large predator for long. The polar bear's existence is a daily test of endurance, intelligence, and adaptability. Every movement, every decision, is shaped by the relentless demands of its environment. To witness the polar bear in its natural habitat is to glimpse the raw, untamed power of the Arctic, a world where survival is an art and the polar bear is its undisputed master. In the heart of Canada's vast and untamed Rocky Mountains, where ancient forests cloak the land in a tapestry of green and mist drifts between jagged peaks, two of the wild's most iconic predators reign supreme. The grizzly bear and the Arctic wolf, each a master of survival, move through this wilderness with a presence that shapes the very fabric of the ecosystem. The grizzly bear, a colossal force of nature, commands respect with its sheer size and raw power. Its massive frame is built for endurance and strength, allowing it to traverse steep slopes, dense undergrowth, and icy rivers with ease. The grizzly's distinctive shoulder hump is a dense mass of muscle, fueling its ability to dig for roots, tear apart rotting logs in search of insects, and deliver bone-crushing blows when hunting or defending itself. Its claws, long and curved, are formidable tools for foraging and protection. As a true omnivore, the grizzly's diet is a testament to its adaptability. It moves with patience and precision, plucking ripe berries from shrubs, unearthing roots, and overturning stones for insects. Along riverbanks, it demonstrates remarkable agility, snatching salmon from rushing waters with a single swipe. When opportunity arises, it can bring down large prey such as elk or moose, using a combination of stealth, power, and relentless pursuit. The grizzly's fur is a living canvas, a blend of deep browns, golds, and silvery tips that shimmer in the sunlight. This grizzled coat not only provides camouflage among the dappled shadows of the forest, but also insulates against the biting cold of mountain nights. A mature male grizzly, towering over 2 meters when upright and weighing up to 400 kilograms, is a formidable presence. Its mere silhouette can send ripples of tension through the forest, as other animals instinctively yield to its dominance. Despite their bulk, grizzlies are astonishingly swift, capable of explosive bursts of speed up to 55 kilometers per hour when chasing prey or defending territory. As the seasons turn, grizzlies enter a period of relentless feeding, consuming tens of thousands of calories each day. This feast is vital, fueling the thick layers of fat that will sustain them through the long, frozen months of hibernation, when their heartbeat slows and they retreat into dens carved deep into the earth. Sharing this vast, rugged domain is the Arctic wolf, a creature of elegance and endurance, perfectly adapted to the snow-bound wilderness. The Arctic wolf's dense white or cream-colored fur is a masterstroke of evolution, providing both warmth and near invisibility against the endless snowscapes. Its keen senses, sharp eyesight, acute hearing, and a powerful sense of smell allow it to detect prey and danger across vast distances. Wolves are the embodiment of social intelligence. Living in tightly knit packs, they cooperate with remarkable coordination, each member playing a role in the survival of the group. Their movements are synchronized, their strategies honed by generations of experience. At the heart of every pack is a complex hierarchy, led by the alpha pair. Through subtle body language, raised tails, direct stares, and gentle nuzzles, they maintain order and cohesion, ensuring the pack functions as a single, efficient unit. When hunting, wolves display extraordinary teamwork. They fan out across the snow, communicating silently, flanking and isolating their quarry. Their endurance is legendary, able to pursue caribou, muskoxen or moose for hours across frozen terrain, relying on stamina and strategy rather than brute force. Communication is the lifeblood of the pack. Through a sophisticated blend of body postures, scent marking, and a rich vocabulary of vocalizations, wolves share information, reinforce bonds, and coordinate their actions. The howl of a wolf is a sound that defines the wilderness. It carries for kilometers, a haunting chorus that serves as a beacon to packmates, a warning to rivals, and a declaration of presence in the vast, echoing valleys. As young wolves mature, some are compelled by instinct to leave the safety of their birth pack. This journey, known as dispersal, is fraught with danger and uncertainty. Alone, they traverse immense distances, sometimes hundreds of kilometers, driven by the search for new territory and the hope of founding a pack of their own. This solitary trek is vital for the health of the species, ensuring genetic diversity and the continued resilience of wolf populations. The lone wolf, a spectral figure against the icy expanse, is both a symbol of independence and a crucial thread in the tapestry of the wild. In this intricate ecosystem, the paths of grizzlies and wolves sometimes cross. Though they rarely interact directly, their presence influences the behavior and distribution of countless other species. Grizzlies, as ecosystem engineers, turn over soil and disperse seeds, while wolves regulate prey populations, preventing overgrazing and fostering biodiversity. Together, these apex predators maintain the delicate balance of their wild domain, shaping the land and life around them. In the silence of dawn, beneath the shadow of ancient peaks, the legacy of wolves and grizzlies endures, untamed, eternal, and essential to the spirit of Canada's wilderness. The Boreal forest, a sprawling expanse of coniferous giants and shadowy undergrowth, forms the emerald heart of Canada. Here, beneath a canopy of spruce, fir, and pine, the land is sculpted by glacial lakes, meandering rivers, and endless wetlands, a mosaic of habitats that shift with the seasons and cradle a remarkable diversity of life. Within this intricate wilderness, two of Canada's most iconic mammals reign supreme, the moose and the black bear. Each is a master of adaptation, thriving in the ever-changing tapestry of the boreal ecosystem. The moose, towering and solitary, is the undisputed giant of the deer family. Its immense body, draped in a thick dark brown coat, is built for survival in the cold, damp forests and boggy lowlands. With legs as long as fence posts and a broad, sensitive snout, the moose is exquisitely adapted to its environment. Its elongated limbs allow it to stride effortlessly through deep snowdrifts in winter and wade into marshes and lakes in search of food during the warmer months. In winter, the moose forages on the twigs and bark of willow, birch, and aspen, using its dexterous lips to strip branches bare. When the ice recedes, it becomes a creature of the water, submerging its head to graze on aquatic plants, water lilies, pondweed, and horsetail, rich in sodium and minerals essential for its health. The male moose, or bull, is crowned each year with a spectacular set of palmate antlers, broad, flattened, and intricately veined like the branches of the very trees it inhabits. These antlers, which can span over 2 meters and weigh more than 30 kilograms, are grown anew each spring, nourished by a surge of nutrients from the moose's summer diet. By late autumn, after the rut, they are shed, returning minerals to the forest floor. During the autumn rut, Bulls clash antlers in ritualized battles, their deep bellows echoing through the misty woods. These displays are less about violence and more about demonstrating vigor and genetic fitness to potential mates. Despite their formidable size, moose move with a ghostly silence, weaving through dense stands of spruce and tamarack with surprising agility. Their acute hearing and keen sense of smell help them detect subtle changes in their environment, alerting them to the presence of predators or the promise of fresh browse. Their diet shifts with the seasons. In spring and summer, they feast on lush aquatic vegetation and the tender shoots of shrubs. In autumn and winter, they rely on woody browse, their powerful jaws grinding even the toughest bark. Sharing this vast, shadowy domain is the American black bear, a creature of remarkable adaptability and subtlety. The black bear is at home in the tangled undergrowth, the mossy glades and the berry-laden clearings of the Boreal forest. Unlike its larger cousins of the mountains and tundra, the black bear is a true denizen of the woods, blending seamlessly into the dappled light and shadow. Its compact, muscular body and short, curved claws make it an agile climber, able to ascend trees in search of food or safety. This arboreal skill is especially vital for cubs, who spend much of their early lives high above the forest floor, safe from potential threats and close to the bounty of fruit and insects found in the canopy. The black bear's coat, though most often a glossy black, can range from deep chocolate to cinnamon, and in rare cases, a ghostly white, such as the elusive Kermode bear, which haunts the misty rainforests of the Pacific coast. The black bear is an omnivore of astonishing versatility. Its diet is a reflection of the forest's seasonal abundance, shifting from tender shoots and roots in spring to berries, insects, and honey in summer, and finally to nuts, acorns, and the last fruits of autumn. In the first warmth of spring, black bears emerge from their winter dens, drawn to the succulent green shoots and grasses that carpet the forest floor, replenishing their bodies after months of fasting. As summer unfolds, the forest becomes a banquet of wild berries, blueberries, raspberries, and saskatoons, while fallen logs and rotting stumps yield a rich harvest of ants, beetles, and larvae. In autumn, the bear's focus turns to calorie-rich nuts and acorns, essential fuel for the long winter ahead. The forest floor is scoured for every morsel as the bear's body prepares for the deep torpor of hibernation. The black bear's sense of smell is legendary, capable of detecting scents over vast distances. It guides the bear to hidden caches of food, from ripe fruit to the remains of a winter-killed animal. Throughout the shifting seasons, both moose and black bear move with purpose and grace through the boreal wilds. Each is a living testament to the intricate balance of this ancient forest, shaped by the rhythms of growth, decay, and renewal that define Canada's untamed north. In the stark, windswept expanse of the Canadian Arctic tundra, where the horizon stretches endlessly beneath a pale, icy sky, life is a relentless contest against the elements. Here, temperatures can plunge below -50 degrees Celsius, and the sun may vanish for months at a time, leaving the land cloaked in perpetual twilight and bone-chilling cold. Amidst this frozen wilderness, the Arctic fox emerges as a marvel of evolutionary engineering, small yet astonishingly resilient, and perfectly attuned to the harshest environment on Earth. Its entire existence is a testament to adaptation and survival. The Arctic fox's most vital asset is its dense, multi-layered fur, the thickest and warmest of any mammal. Each hair is hollow, trapping air for insulation, while the underfur forms a soft, heat-retaining barrier. In winter, the fox wraps its bushy tail around its body and face, creating a cocoon of warmth that shields it from the biting wind. This remarkable coat is not only a fortress against the cold, but also a masterstroke of camouflage. In winter, the fur is a pure, dazzling white, rendering the fox nearly invisible against the snow and ice. As the seasons shift and the tundra thaws, the coat transforms to a mottled brown and grey, blending seamlessly with the rocky, mossy landscape of summer. This seasonal metamorphosis is crucial for both predator and prey, allowing the fox to stalk undetected and evade larger hunters such as polar bears and snowy owls. Every aspect of the Arctic fox's anatomy is sculpted for survival. Its compact body, short legs, and rounded ears minimize heat loss by reducing exposed surface area. The muzzle is short and blunt, further conserving warmth, while the paws are thickly furred, acting as natural snowshoes and slippers that insulate against the frozen ground. Even the fox's footpads are covered in dense fur, allowing it to traverse sharp ice and deep snow in near silence, leaving only the faintest trace of its passage. The Arctic fox is an opportunistic and highly skilled hunter. Its primary prey is the lemming, a small rodent that tunnels beneath the snowpack. The fox's hearing is so acute it can detect the faintest rustle of movement deep below the surface, even in the howling wind. When it pinpoints its quarry, the fox employs a signature hunting technique. It leaps high into the air and plunges headfirst into the snow, breaking through the crust to snatch its prey in a single, swift motion, a behavior known as mousing. This precision strike is a product of both instinct and experience, honed by countless hours of stalking and listening in the frozen silence. When lemmings are scarce, the Arctic fox's diet broadens dramatically. It will pursue Arctic hares, raid the nests of ground-nesting birds for eggs and chicks, and scavenge the remains of larger animals. The fox is a consummate survivor, able to subsist on berries, fish, and even seaweed when necessity demands. It is also a patient scavenger, trailing polar bears across the ice to claim scraps from their seal kills, and sometimes digging into frozen carcasses left behind by wolves or other predators. The fortunes of the Arctic fox rise and fall with the cycles of its prey. In years of abundance, the tundra teems with life, and the foxes thrive, raising large litters of pups in deep, insulated dens dug into the permafrost. In lean years, many foxes perish, and only the most resourceful survive. To endure the long, dark winter, the Arctic fox relies on a strategy of food caching. During the brief summer, when prey is plentiful, the fox kills more than it can eat, burying surplus food in shallow holes scattered across its territory. The permafrost acts as a natural freezer, preserving these hidden stores for months. When the world is locked in ice and prey is scarce, the fox returns to these caches, digging through snow and frozen earth to retrieve its precious reserves. This remarkable foresight and memory are vital for survival, allowing the fox to outlast the most brutal conditions the Arctic can deliver. Through endless night and blinding blizzard, the Arctic fox endures, its senses sharp, its instincts honed, its body a living shield against the cold. It is a creature of silence and subtlety, moving like a wraith across the snow, a master of survival in a world where only the most adaptable can persist. As the seasons turn, the fox's world transforms, but its struggle remains unchanged, a ceaseless quest for food, warmth, and safety in the vast, unforgiving wilderness of the frozen north. The Arctic fox stands as a symbol of endurance, ingenuity, and the quiet, relentless power of life at the edge of the world. Along the wild, wind-battered coastline of British Columbia, where ancient rainforests descend into the surging Pacific, a world of extraordinary intelligence and power unfolds just beneath the waves. Here the orca, sleek, muscular, and crowned with a towering dorsal fin, moves with effortless grace through the cold, nutrient-rich waters, its black and white form slicing through the kelp forests and rocky inlets. These apex predators, often called killer whales, are in fact the largest members of the dolphin family, their bodies engineered for both speed and precision. Their striking coloration, a bold contrast of obsidian black and snowy white, is more than mere beauty. It is disruptive camouflage, fracturing their outline in the dappled light and shadow of the ocean, rendering them nearly invisible to unsuspecting prey. Each orca is marked by a unique pattern on its dorsal fin and the pale saddle patch behind it, a living fingerprint that distinguishes every individual within the pod. the Pacific coast is home to several distinct orca populations, each with its own intricate culture, specialized diet, and even a unique dialect of calls and clicks that echo through the water like a secret language. The resident orcas, most studied and deeply bonded, form matriarchal societies led by wise, elder females. These family groups are tightly knit, with offspring remaining by their mothers' sides for life, their social bonds woven through generations. Residents are masterful fish hunters, specializing in the pursuit of Chinook salmon, the largest and most energy-rich of the Pacific salmon species. With astonishing coordination, they herd schools of fish, using bursts of speed and sudden turns to isolate their quarry. Their hunting is guided by sophisticated echolocation, a series of rapid-fire clicks that bounce through the murky depths, painting a vivid acoustic map of the underwater world. Every echo reveals the shape, size, and even the heartbeat of their prey. In the shadowy forests of kelp, orcas glide silently, their movements synchronized, their communication a tapestry of whistles and pulsed calls. The matriarch leads, her knowledge of salmon runs and hidden channels passed down through generations. In stark contrast, the transient or Big's killer whales are nomadic hunters, moving in smaller, more fluid groups. Their existence is defined by stealth and strategy as they stalk marine mammals, seals, sea lions, porpoises, and even the calves of great whales. Transients hunt in near silence, their approach ghost-like, avoiding vocalizations that might betray their presence to the keen ears of their prey. When the moment comes, they erupt in a burst of coordinated violence, each member of the pod playing a precise role in the hunt. Their attacks are feats of teamwork and cunning, with orcas driving prey onto rocky shores or separating individuals from protective groups. The ocean churns with primal energy as these predators demonstrate a level of cooperation rivaling that of wolves or lions. The social lives of orcas are as complex as their hunting. Within each pod, relationships are reinforced through gentle touches, synchronized swimming, and a rich vocabulary of calls. Calves learn by watching and imitating their elders, absorbing the skills and traditions that define their pod's identity. Knowledge is passed from generation to generation, not just how to hunt, but where to find food, how to navigate the shifting currents, and how to communicate with kin across vast distances. The dialects of orca pods are so distinct that they form acoustic boundaries, each group's calls as unique as a human language. These vocalizations echo through the water, binding families together and marking the invisible territories of the sea. To witness a pod of orcas is to glimpse a society as intricate as any on land, breaching in unison, spy-hopping to scan the horizon, or socializing at the surface in a ballet of power and grace. These magnificent giants are not only predators, but also stewards of the coastal ecosystem, shaping the balance of life beneath the waves. Their presence is a living testament to the wild, mysterious world that thrives in the cold embrace of the Pacific. In every glint of their intelligent eyes, in every ripple of their passage, the orcas of the Pacific coast embody the untamed spirit of Canada's ocean wilderness, majestic, enigmatic, and profoundly alive. Across the endless, wind-swept grasslands of the Canadian prairies, a colossal figure moves with quiet authority, an animal whose presence is woven into the very fabric of this ecosystem. This is the wood bison, the largest land mammal in North America, a living relic of the Ice Age, perfectly adapted to the extremes of the prairie. Bison are true architects of the grasslands. Their immense herds once migrated in seasonal rhythms, traveling vast distances in search of fresh grazing. As they moved, their hooves churned the soil, aerating the earth and pressing seeds deep into the ground, encouraging the growth of native grasses and wildflowers. Even in the harshest winters, bison display remarkable endurance. Their thick, woolly coats insulate them from biting winds, while their massive heads and powerful necks act as living snowplows, sweeping aside drifts to uncover the dormant grasses beneath. Unlike any other prairie grazer, bison instinctively face into blizzards, forging ahead through the storm, minimizing exposure and conserving energy for the herd. Their grazing is not random. Bison select a mosaic of grasses, sedges, and forbs, shaping the prairie's plant communities. By favoring certain species and leaving others to recover, they create a patchwork of habitats that support a rich diversity of insects, birds, and small mammals. The bison's seasonal migrations are a spectacle of movement and survival. In spring, herds drift northward, following the green wave of new growth. Calves are born into the safety of numbers. Their reddish coats are stark contrast against the emerald prairie. By late summer, the herds shift again, seeking out the last lush pastures before the onset of winter. As they thunder across the plains, bison stir up clouds of dust and scatter seeds, their passage rejuvenating the land. Their wallows, shallow depressions carved by rolling bodies, collect rainwater and become micro-habitats for amphibians and prairie plants. Every aspect of the bison's life is intertwined with the prairie. Their dung fertilizes the soil, supporting the next generation of grasses. Their presence deters woody encroachment, maintaining the open character of the grasslands. Even in death, their remains nourish scavengers and return vital nutrients to the earth. The bison is not merely a grazer but a keystone species, an irreplaceable force that sustains the health, diversity, and resilience of the prairie ecosystem. Their story is written in every blade of grass, every ripple of wind, and every thunderous hoofbeat that echoes across the open plains. In the far reaches of northern Canada, where the land is shaped by relentless cold and endless cycles of light and darkness, a remarkable array of wildlife has evolved to not only survive, but to flourish. These creatures are the true masters of adaptation, each uniquely attuned to the extremes of their environment. The Arctic fox, for example, is a marvel of seasonal transformation. In winter, its dense, snow-white fur provides both camouflage and insulation against temperatures that can plunge below -50 degrees Celsius. As the brief summer arrives, its coat shifts to brown and grey, blending seamlessly with the thawing tundra and rocky outcrops. With keen hearing, it locates prey beneath the snow, pouncing with precision honed by generations of survival. The snowy owl, regal and ghostly, reigns over the open tundra. Its thick plumage shields it from biting winds, while its acute vision and silent flight make it a formidable hunter of lemmings and small mammals. During the endless daylight of Arctic summer, these owls raise their young in shallow ground nests, ever watchful for predators and opportunity alike. Muskoxen, relics of the Ice Age, endure the harshest winters by banding together in tight circles, their long, coarse guard hairs and dense underwool forming a living barrier against the cold. Calves, born in spring, quickly learn to navigate the frozen landscape, protected by the formidable horns and vigilance of the herd. Caribou, or reindeer, are tireless wanderers of the north. Their large concave hooves act as snowshoes, spreading their weight and allowing them to traverse deep drifts and icy rivers. With specialized muzzles, they dig through snow to reach nutrient-rich lichen, sustaining vast migrations that are among the longest of any land mammal on Earth. The polar bear, apex predator of the Arctic, is supremely adapted to a world of ice and water. Its translucent fur and thick layer of blubber insulate against frigid seas, while powerful limbs propel it across vast expanses of shifting ice. With a sense of smell capable of detecting seals beneath meters of snow, the polar bear's survival is a testament to patience and strength. The Arctic hare, cloaked in immaculate white, relies on speed and agility to evade predators. Its compact body conserves heat, and its powerful hind legs propel it across the tundra in great leaps, foraging for woody plants and bark even in the depths of winter. The ptarmigan, a master of disguise, changes its plumage with the seasons, brilliant white in winter, mottled brown in summer, blending perfectly with its surroundings. Even its feet are feathered, acting as natural snowshoes and providing warmth as it forages for buds and twigs. The elusive Wolverine, fierce and solitary, roams vast territories in search of carrion and prey. Its powerful jaws can crush bone, and its broad paws allow it to travel effortlessly over deep snow, making it one of the most formidable survivors of the North. Beneath the snow, the Arctic ground squirrel performs one of nature's most astonishing feats, hibernating for up to 8 months, its body temperature dropping below freezing, heart rate slowed to a near standstill, awaiting the return of spring's warmth. Lemmings, small but vital, tunnel beneath the snow in a hidden world, feeding on grasses and sedges. Their populations boom and crash in cycles, shaping the fortunes of countless predators across the tundra. In the boreal forest, grey wolves move silently through the shadows, their thick pelts and keen senses perfectly suited to the cold. Working as a pack, they track caribou and moose, their howls echoing beneath the shimmering aurora. The lynx, with its tufted ears and snowshoe-like paws, is a ghostly presence among the trees. It stalks the snowshoe hare, another northern specialist, in a silent dance of predator and prey that has shaped both species over millennia. Even the waterways teem with life. Beavers, with their waterproof fur and powerful tails, build lodges that withstand the freeze, creating habitats that support countless other species through the long winter. Beneath the ice, fish like the Arctic char and northern pike remain active, their bodies adapted to the cold, slow-moving waters, sustaining the intricate food web of the north. The raven, intelligent and adaptable, is a constant companion to the northern wilds. Its glossy black feathers stand out against the snow, and its calls carry for miles, a symbol of resilience and resourcefulness. The red fox, with its luxurious winter coat, navigates the edge of forest and tundra, hunting rodents and birds and finding shelter in dens dug deep beneath the frost. The ermine, or stoat, transforms from brown to pure white as winter descends, its black-tipped tail the only mark against the snow. Agile and relentless, it pursues prey through a labyrinth of tunnels beneath the drifts. Even the plants of the north are wonders of adaptation, spruce and larch trees with flexible branches to shed snow, lichens that survive on bare rock, and the Arctic poppy blooming in the brief, intense summer, turning its golden face to the midnight sun. Together, these species form a living tapestry, each thread woven by the demands of the north. Their adaptations are not just responses to hardship, but expressions of the wild beauty and resilience that define this extraordinary land. In the silence of the Arctic dawn, beneath the dancing lights of the aurora, the wildlife of the north endures, an enduring testament to the power of adaptation and the intricate balance of life at the edge of the world. In the shadowed silence of Canada's boreal forests, a solitary figure moves with spectral grace, the Canada lynx. Draped in a silvery coat flecked with charcoal and ivory, this elusive feline is a master of stealth, perfectly designed for life in the snowbound wilderness. Its oversized, snowshoe-like paws spread wide with each step, allowing the lynx to glide effortlessly atop deep drifts where few others can follow. The lynx's domain is a world of dense spruce and tangled undergrowth, where sunlight filters through frost-laden boughs and silence reigns. Here, the lynx's tufted ears, crowned with black tips, swivel at the faintest sound, detecting the subtlest rustle beneath the snow. Its golden eyes, sharp and unblinking, scan for the telltale movement of its primary prey, the snowshoe hare. Hunting is a game of patience and precision. The lynx stalks through the forest twilight, each footfall measured and silent. It pauses, motionless, blending with the dappled light and shadow, waiting for the perfect moment. Then, with explosive speed, it lunges, powerful hind legs propelling it in a single graceful leap. Success relies on timing, for the hare is swift and wary, its own survival entwined with that of its predator. Winter is a time of challenge and opportunity. As snow deepens, the lynx's natural advantage grows, its paws acting as living snowshoes. It navigates the labyrinth beneath the trees, following hidden trails and scenting the air for a trace of its quarry. In lean years, when hares are scarce, the lynx's resilience is tested. It turns to other prey, grouse, voles, even the occasional young deer. Its adaptability, a key to survival in an ever-shifting world. Each night, the lynx's solitary patrol covers vast distances, marking its territory with silent confidence. Its thick fur shields it from biting winds, while its keen senses unlock the secrets of the frozen forest. Rarely seen, always mysterious, the Canada lynx is both ghost and guardian, a living emblem of the untamed wild, thriving where winter's reign is absolute. In the remote reaches of Canada's northern wilderness, where forests thin into tundra and winter's grip lingers for months, a singular creature roams, a legend cloaked in muscle and mystery. The Wolverine. Stocky and low-slung, its body is sheathed in dense, frost-repellent fur, a patchwork of chocolate brown and golden bands that blend seamlessly with the shadowed undergrowth and snow-scoured rocks. Short, powerful limbs end in splayed paws armed with curved claws, granting traction on ice and deep powder alike. The wolverine's broad head, set with a blunt muzzle and small, rounded ears, houses a jaw capable of shattering frozen bone. Solitude is the wolverine's constant companion. It travels alone, following no path but its own, carving a territory that can stretch hundreds of kilometers. Driven by an insatiable drive, it moves tirelessly, climbing crags, swimming icy rivers, and burrowing through snowdrifts in pursuit of sustenance. Feeding is an unending quest, shaped by the harshest of environments. The wolverine is both scavenger and predator, unrivaled in its ability to locate and consume carrion buried beneath meters of snow. Its acute sense of smell detects the faintest scent of death, while powerful jaws and teeth break through frozen hides and gnaw marrow from bones left behind by larger carnivores. Yet the wolverine is no mere opportunist. When prey is scarce, it hunts live animals. Snowshoe hares, ground squirrels, and ptarmigan fall to its stealth and cunning. In lean times, it will even chase down weakened caribou calves using bursts of speed and relentless endurance. Adaptation is the wolverine's signature. Its metabolism burns hot, fueling it through the coldest nights. Specialized footpads spread wide for traversing deep snow, while semi-retractable claws grip rock and ice. In summer, it caches surplus food, burying it in the permafrost to preserve for the lean months ahead, a hidden larder against famine. The wolverine's world is one of extremes, biting winds, blinding blizzards, and endless horizons. Yet it endures, a testament to sheer will and rugged ingenuity. Each day it pushes the boundaries of survival, a solitary force sculpted by the wild and utterly unyielding in the face of nature's fiercest trials. In the boundless white expanse of the Arctic tundra, a ghostly figure drifts silently across the snow, feathers glimmering with the luster of fresh ice beneath the pale northern sun. This is the snowy owl, master of the frozen skies, and an emblem of the Arctic's stark beauty. With wings outstretched, the snowy owl glides low over windswept drifts, its movements nearly imperceptible to prey and predator alike. Each feather is edged with velvety softness, engineered to muffle the whisper of flight, a perfect adaptation for stealth. Its golden eyes, unblinking and unyielding, scan the landscape with surgical precision, attuned to the faintest twitch in the snow below. Hunting is an art of patience and precision. From a vantage atop a frost-rimed hummock or a solitary boulder, the snowy owl waits motionless, blending seamlessly with the pallor of its realm. When movement betrays the presence of a lemming, vole, or Arctic hare, the owl launches in a sudden silent plunge. Talons, needle-sharp and powerful, pierce through the crusted snow, seizing its quarry in an instant. Even beneath the cover of twilight or in the endless polar day, the owl's vision cuts through shadow and glare, ensuring its supremacy as a hunter. But the life of a snowy owl is shaped by the ebb and flow of the Arctic seasons. When prey grows scarce, these nomads embark on epic migrations, their powerful wings carrying them across continents. Some travel as far as the windswept prairies or the rocky northern coasts, seeking abundance wherever it may lie. Their journeys are guided by instinct and necessity, each migration a testament to their resilience. Within the Arctic ecosystem, the snowy owl is both predator and sentinel. Its fortunes rise and fall with the pulse of the lemming population, linking its fate to that of countless other species. When lemmings thrive, so too do the owls, raising broods of downy chicks in shallow ground nests, each fledgling a new guardian of the tundra. In lean years, their numbers dwindle, a silent barometer of the land's health. Amidst the howling winds and endless snows, the snowy owl endures, an ethereal presence, both fierce and fragile, shaping the rhythm of life in the high north. In its silent flight and watchful gaze, the Arctic's wild heart beats on. Across the vast rolling tundra, a living river undulates beneath the wide northern sky. Dark shapes flow by the thousands, hooves drumming a steady rhythm into the earth. This is the caribou, the tireless wanderer of the Arctic wilds. Each spring, as the snow begins to melt in silvery ribbons, entire herds, sometimes numbering in the hundreds of thousands, set forth on a migration unrivaled in the animal kingdom. From the shelter of boreal forests, they surge northward, propelled by an ancient unspoken urgency. Legs slender yet unyielding carry them over windswept plains, stony ridges, and icy rivers swollen with meltwater. Every step is a testament to endurance, each journey a pilgrimage written in the memory of generations. Within the herd, a complex choreography unfolds. Matriarchs lead with quiet authority, their experience guiding the way through treacherous crossings and shifting weather. Calves, born on the move, totter beside their mothers, their coats still dappled with the camouflage of youth. Bulls, antlers crowned in velvet, keep a wary distance, their strength reserved for the coming season of rivalry. Caribou are architects of survival. Their hooves, broad and splayed, serve as snowshoes across powdery drifts and paddles through frigid waters. With every migration they shed and regrow antlers, tools for foraging beneath crusted snow, or for sparring in the brief golden days of autumn. Their coats, dense and hollow-haired, guard against the bite of Arctic winds, trapping warmth in even the deepest cold. As summer unfolds, the herds reach the calving grounds, remote windswept expanses where predators are few and grasses are lush. Here, the tundra erupts with new life. Vigilance is constant. Wolves and golden eagles circle at the margins, ever watchful for the vulnerable. Yet the herd's unity is its shield. Thousands of eyes, ears, and noses attuned to every threat, every shift in the restless wind. With the waning of the midnight sun, the caribou once again gather, sensing the pull of distant forests. Their migration reverses, a ceaseless tide that shapes the land itself. Trails etched into the earth, meadows fertilized by their passing, lichens grazed and renewed. In this endless march, the caribou are both sculptors and survivors, their lives inseparable from the pulse of the tundra. Through blizzards and biting insects, across rivers and rocky barrens, the caribou press onward, undaunted, unbroken. Their journey is not just a quest for sustenance, but a living thread that weaves the Arctic together. In the haunting silhouettes against the setting sun, the spirit of the North endures, wild, resolute, and forever on the move. In the shadowed stillness of northern ponds and meandering streams, a silent architect shapes the land with unwavering purpose. The beaver, Canada's emblematic engineer, moves with practiced precision, its presence revealed not by sound, but by the transformation it leaves behind. With teeth honed by a lifetime of gnawing, the beaver fells slender aspen and birch, each trunk selected with instinctive understanding. Dragging branches through the water, it assembles a latticework of timber and mud, an edifice that defies the current's relentless pull. The dam rises, log by log, a bulwark against the wild, sculpted with the artistry of necessity. Behind this living wall, water slows and deepens. A pond unfurls, tranquil and reflective, concealing a hidden fortress, the Beaver Lodge. Constructed from branches and packed with insulating mud, this shelter is accessible only by underwater entrances, a sanctuary against predators and winter's icy grasp. Yet the beaver's influence extends far beyond its own survival. Each dam becomes a catalyst for life, a wellspring in the heart of the forest. Flooded woodlands give rise to lush wetlands, where reeds and sedges flourish, and willows arch over mirror-still pools. Amphibians spawn in the quiet shallows, fish seek refuge in cool depths, and waterfowl find nesting grounds amid the tangled banks. As the seasons turn, beavers adapt their domain. In spring, melting snows test the strength of their constructions. Skilled paws patch leaks and reinforce walls, maintaining the delicate balance between water and land. In autumn, food caches are anchored in the pond's depths, branches stripped of bark, preserved beneath the ice for the long winter ahead. The beaver's legacy is written in every ripple and reflection. Abandoned dams decay, their reservoirs draining to reveal rich meadows, now teeming with wildflowers and grazers. Channels carved by webbed feet redirect streams, shaping the flow of entire watersheds. In this way, the beaver is not only a builder, but a creator, its influence cascading through generations of plants and animals. Under the northern stars, the beaver works unobserved, its world a testament to ingenuity and quiet resilience. In every lodge and dam, the spirit of creation endures, patient, industrious, and inseparable from the wild heart of Canada. In the twilight hush of the boreal forest, a shadow glides between ancient spruce and trembling aspen, a presence almost unseen, yet always watching. The great grey owl, largest of its kind, is a phantom in feathers, cloaked in soft bands of silver and charcoal. Its face, round and rimmed with concentric circles, is a satellite dish for sound, capturing the faintest rustle beneath the snow. This hunter's world is one of patience and precision. Perched atop a broken snag, it waits, motionless as the lichen-draped branches around it. Beneath the snow, a vole scurries, a whisper of movement inaudible to most. But the owl's satellite face and asymmetrical ears triangulate the sound, pinpointing prey hidden beneath half a meter of winter's silence. In a heartbeat, the owl plunges, wings spread wide, talons outstretched, piercing the crust and seizing its quarry in a silent strike. The snow closes behind it, erasing all trace but the echo of wings. Nesting is an act of adaptation. Without building its own, the great grey owl claims abandoned hawk or raven nests, high in the crook of a tree or atop a broken trunk. Here, in the cradle of the ancient forest, the female guards her eggs against the lingering chill. Downy owlets hatch into a world of whispered winds and shifting shadows, their first days spent beneath the watchful gaze of their silent guardian. Survival in the boreal demands more than stealth. The owl's dense plumage is armor against the biting cold, each feather layered for warmth and silence. Its broad wings carry it effortlessly between the trees, maneuvering through tangled branches in pursuit of elusive prey. When food grows scarce, the great grey owl becomes a wanderer, travelling vast distances across the northern expanse in search of hunting grounds. Yet, even in its solitude, the owl is a keystone of the wild. Each hunt shapes the delicate balance of life below the canopy, and each nest is a promise that the ghost of the boreal will endure, gliding on silent wings through the endless twilight of Canada's ancient forests. Above the timberline, where the world narrows to sheer cliffs and wind-carved ledges, the mountain goat reigns as master of the impossible. Cloaked in a mantle of dazzling white, it moves with unshakable purpose across slopes that seem to defy all life, a living artifact sculpted by the Rockies' relentless extremes. Each hoof, split and cushioned with rough pads, finds improbable purchase on crumbling granite and icy outcrops. A single step is a feat of balance and instinct, the goat's body poised between gravity and the sky. In these vertical realms, danger is a constant companion. One slip spells oblivion. Yet the mountain goat moves with the surety of water flowing down stone, ascending to heights where only the wind and the ravens bear witness. Its thick double-layered coat shields against the mountain's icy breath, while a dense underwool traps precious warmth, shedding snow and frost like a living glacier. The horns, slender and black, arc backward in a silent testament to battles fought for territory and survival. Here, life is pared to its essence. In sparse meadows perched above the world, the goats graze on tufts of grass and hardy alpine flowers, their diet as rugged as the land itself. In spring, nimble kids, miniature climbers, test their first steps on narrow ledges, shadowed by vigilant mothers. Every leap, every scramble, is a lesson in endurance, a rehearsal for the countless perils of the high country. Predators rarely follow where the goats go. The mountain's edge is both sanctuary and crucible. Storms sweep the ridges with blinding snow, and avalanches thunder down the slopes, yet the goats persist, silent, stoic, and unyielding. In the blue hush of dawn, a solitary figure stands outlined against the sky, surveying a world of peaks and clouds. The mountain goat is not merely a survivor of this harsh domain, it is its spirit made flesh, an emblem of resilience carved into the bones of the Rockies. Beneath the mirrored surface of Canada's winding rivers and tranquil lakes, the river otter weaves its story, a tale of agility, intelligence, and unbridled play. Sleek and supple, its body glides through the water like a living ribbon, propelled by webbed feet and a muscular tail that flicks with effortless precision. Each movement is a choreography of purpose and delight as the otter spins, tumbles, and dives in a world sculpted by current and stone. In the hush of dawn, a ripple betrays its presence. Whiskers, sensitive to the faintest vibration, scan the liquid realm for signs of prey. With a sudden twist, the otter slips beneath the surface, eyes protected by a transparent third eyelid, ears and nostrils snapping shut. The hunt begins. Fish dart among submerged roots and tangled reeds, but the otter is relentless, its vision keen even in murky depths, its movements silent and swift. With a burst of speed it lunges, teeth flashing white, seizing its quarry with practiced ease. But the otter's world is not bound by hunger alone. It is a master of joy, crafting games from river stones and eddies. In winter, when the banks freeze and the land lies silent, the otter transforms snow-covered slopes into playgrounds, sliding on its belly, twisting and rolling, leaving tracks that trace exuberant arcs across the ice. Beneath the frozen surface, it navigates labyrinths of air pockets, surfacing with a quick exhalation before vanishing once more into the liquid blue. Its fur, dense and waterproof, traps a layer of insulating air, keeping the otter warm in the coldest waters. Each hair, fine and tightly packed, locks in heat and sheds droplets like polished glass. The otter's lungs, capacious and efficient, allow it to remain submerged for minutes at a time, exploring the hidden world beneath the ice. In the tangled roots of streamside willows, the otter crafts its den, a holt, secret and snug, lined with dry leaves and grasses. Here, in the hush of twilight, it grooms its fur with fastidious care, each stroke of the paw a ritual of survival. In spring, pups emerge from the shadows, their first hesitant swims guided by the gentle nudge of a parent. Every lesson, how to dive, how to hunt, how to play, is passed from one generation to the next, a legacy written in ripples and laughter. The river otter is the wild's eternal child and cunning hunter, a creature shaped by water, bound to the pulse of the river's heart. It is the spirit of the waterways, resilient, graceful, and forever at play beneath the endless northern sky. Amid the sweeping expanse of Canada's wild frontiers, a flash of russet fur glides between shadow and sunlight. The red fox, cunning, elusive, and endlessly adaptable, moves with the serenity of a whisper and the certainty of a shadow. Its coat, a tapestry of flame and frost, blends seamlessly with autumn leaves, winter snows, and summer meadows, a masterstroke of camouflage painted by evolution. Keen amber eyes scan the landscape, calculating every movement, every possibility. Each step is measured, each pause deliberate. Ears tall and vigilant pivot to capture the faintest tremor, the scuttle of a vole beneath snow, the wingbeat of a grouse in the underbrush, the rustle of distant prey. In the hush of twilight, the fox becomes a phantom, slipping through forests, meadows, and even the fringes of tundra, its paw prints a silent signature on the land. With a sudden, electric stillness, the fox halts, muscles coil, tail flicks, and the world narrows to a pinpoint of focus. Then, an explosion of motion. The fox leaps, arching high above the earth, landing with surgical precision upon hidden quarry below. The snow yields, and the hunt concludes in a flurry of white and red. It is a ballet of instinct and intellect, a testament to the fox's unrivaled adaptability. Yet the red fox is no mere predator. It is a connoisseur of opportunity, thriving where others falter. From the moss-draped rainforests of the Pacific coast to the frost-laced plains of the north, it bends the rules of survival to its will. In lean seasons, it feasts on berries and fallen fruit, insects and amphibians, its diet as varied as the landscapes it claims. Beneath the stars, the fox curls into its den, a burrow carved among roots and rocks, shielded from wind and watchful eyes. Here, it grooms its plume-like tail, each hair an insulator against the biting cold. As dawn breaks, the fox emerges once more, a solitary figure etching new stories into the wild, unseen but ever present, clever and enduring. The red fox is the wild's consummate trickster, a creature of endless resourcefulness, shaped by challenge, defined by cunning, and crowned in the crimson glory of the untamed north. In the silent frost-laced forests of Canada's north, a phantom flits through the undergrowth, leaving barely a trace of its passage. The snowshoe hare, nature's master of invisibility, moves with a grace honed by generations of survival in a land where every shadow holds a secret. Its coat, a marvel of seasonal transformation, shifts from earthy brown in the flush of summer to purest white as winter descends, mirroring the snowy landscape with uncanny precision. Each strand of fur becomes a thread in the tapestry of concealment, breaking the hare's outline against drifts and deadfall, rendering it nearly invisible to the keenest eye. Massive fur-lined feet splay wide, distributing weight and allowing the hare to float atop deep powder, where heavier predators flounder and sink. Every movement is calculated, every pause a study in stillness. The hare's wide-set eyes scan for danger, while its ears, edged with frost, listen for the faintest whisper of a wing or the crackle of a distant paw. When alarm sounds, a shadow overhead, the snap of a twig, the hare explodes into motion, launching itself in mighty bounds that can span 3 meters in a single leap. Its zigzag path confounds pursuers, weaving through dense thickets and snow-laden branches, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. Yet, for all its caution and camouflage, the snowshoe hare is a keystone in the northern food web, a silent force shaping life and death in the wild. It is the heartbeat beneath the snow, sustaining lynx, foxes, owls, and wolves alike. Its population surges and crashes in great cycles, rippling outward to touch every creature that calls these forests home. In the hush between predator and prey, the snowshoe hare endures, fleet, elusive, and ever adaptable, a testament to evolution's artistry and the relentless rhythm of survival in the Canadian wild.